Mr. Y.C. Pawar, former Joint Commissioner of Police in Mumbai, who's with me in the studio, doesn't think that this would have been either a dry run to a bigger terror attack or even a terror angle. Probably does not exist. Why do you say so, sir?
The preliminary information does not indicate, because if it were a serious blast, there would have been serious implications. Now, dry run, I don't think that the terrorists are that fool to do that and get caught. Because they have all complete trained people, they have full material available. Why would they have a dry run? There is no need at all.
Because it happened in the case of the Delhi High Court attack. That much before the Delhi High Court attack, there were low intensity explosives there as well. And the problem was at that point of time, that was disregarded. So it's not as if there has not been a dry run case in the past. In Delhi, if I'm not mistaken, 2.5 months before the actual attack, this dry run, which is now being described as a dry run, took place. I'm not being alarmist tonight, but that's the connection people are drawing.
I don't think so, because even about that I had my own reservations. But anyway, unless people are caught and it is said that that is dry run, I'm not inclined to believe.
I want to get different views in. Major General Dipankar Banerjee of the Institute of Peace and Conflict Studies in Delhi. Sir, you've been reading about this. What do you make of these? There are 4, actually, I'd like to clarify. There are 4 blasts and 1 has been diffused. You're joining us from Delhi tonight. What do you think, sir? General Manager.
Well, every single blast has to be taken seriously and analyzed carefully for the purpose and intent of those blasts. Now, these are blasts which are carried out by expert, trained people for a particular purpose. Now, in this particular case, what could be the purpose? That is, I think, the first point of interrogation at this stage. There can be several reasons. In Bangladesh in 2005, there were 465 simultaneous blasts. Very clear message was being sent then by the Bangladesh Huji that terrorism has arrived in Bangladesh. Now, here again, these blasts are a signal that terrorists are present, they are alive, they are active, and they have the potential to carry out their destructive acts. We need to be prepared for such a contingency.
We're also told from some reports that security is tightened in the Jantar Mantar area where we are joined from now by Tehseen Poonawala, who's on the Congress Party's media panel, and of course he's a columnist. Tehseen, we're told security is tightened in that particular area and entry points, large parts of Delhi have been sealed off. On this particular blast, before I go across to Tehseen, I'd like to say, let's play those pictures again. I have some information coming in that the explosions took place between 7:28 and 7:35. These are the first series of blasts which took place. They took place during rush hour in the heart of the city on the busy Jangli Maharaj Road. This is an area of Pune which is completely crowded with restaurants, shops, and the very large park called Sambhaji Park. People from Pune will know this is a very popular area for family outings. In the evening, 1 bomb placed on a cycle carrier outside Dena Bank, another in a dustbin outside the McDonald's, 1 more, interestingly, in a cake outside the Bal Gandharv Theatre, and the 4th blast was at the Garware Bridge. Can this be simply dismissed as mischief? Tehseen, you're from Pune. What do you think?
Well, first of all, Arnab, I'd like to begin by hoping everyone's all right in Pune. Of course, I'm in Delhi, and I hope everybody's safe. But, I don't think we should tonight itself start dissecting this issue. The Pune Police Commissioner has said prima facie that it appears to be some sort of mischief. And the Pune Police Commissioner will have ground reality.
So how do you define mischief? What is mischief?
But because
mischief with explosives is terrorism.
No, mischief with explosives is terrorism, says General Banerjee. Go ahead. General Banerjee is questioning this whole mischief theory. Go ahead, General Banerjee. I also think it's slightly casual to call it mischief. Go ahead, General Banerjee.
Yes, when you carry out an explosion, a planned explosion, at the busiest part of a thriving city of India, and you execute those bombings, then this is not a mischief. This is an act of terrorism. Well, for various reasons, it may not have been targeted to kill, but perhaps to send out a message. So what I would urge is, while it is important that we should not get too terribly upset about it, but we should be very careful and analyze with great care and caution as to what this was meant to be. A serious investigation will be required to establish that.
Yeah, and we have to look at the circumstances in which it happens. Okay, Tehseen, and then I'd like to welcome Ajit Doval, former director of the Intelligence Bureau, also joining us today. Can this be dismissed as mischief, Ajit Doval? So quickly and so dismissively?
It definitely cannot be a mischief. There are three distinct features about it. Number one, there were 5 explosions. It cannot be carried out by a single person. It's a group. They have been brought in a finished condition. That is, their main charge, their detonator, their power supply, and their triggering device had been put in a ready condition, because in such a crowded place, you will not be able to put 5 devices and then start putting it as the fabrication is done. It takes some time. Now, they cannot bring it even in one vehicle or in one auto rickshaw or in one this thing, because they are in a finished condition and they have to plant them quickly. So it is a well coordinated this thing. Secondly, it's terrorism is something where you would like to terrorize the people, create a sense of panic and fear amongst them. The intention and motive here, selecting the time when it's a crowded time, selecting the targets in front of a Dena Bank, in front of Bal Gandharv Theatre, where there was supposed to be the Home Minister, this thing. The message is very clear, that is, you wanted to create a terror amongst the people. Incidentally, the people who are killed are not the targets of the terrorists. It is the people who live under the shadow of terror who are the targets of terror, because then they are able to pressurize their governments to get the political demands or the concessions that the terrorists are trying to find. Dismissing it is being in a denial mode, and I think it is a very, very wrong reaction.
Yes,
the
Mr.
third is this,
yes.
that is, what I feel is that it has been done at a short notice planning. It is not a very well distinct.
Why do you say that?
Everything everything in this IED is there that goes in making a major blast or a small blast. Only thing is that the main charge is the quantity is very small. Now, when you put the quantity which is small, it is the availability of the supply of the quantity that you have got. And in case you are going for a main blast, you have wrecked the place, you have got your stores, and most likely it is a new Home Minister taking over. He is probably visit to Pune, and they thought that whatever they have got, in case they would like to have an effect, let them have a symbolic this thing to send their message. And that's why probably it has not been the same. But otherwise, if you go by it, it has got it's like a small laboratory experiment of a complete IED. It has got
I'm getting a comment from the Union Home Secretary. Union Home Secretary R.K. Singh is speaking now live. I'm cutting across to that gentleman.
4 हुए, वो ब्लास्ट कहना भी अतिशयोक्ति होगी. छोटे छोटे थे एक्सप्लोजन्स, लेकिन और वहाँ की पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेट कर रही है. लेकिन चूंकि 4 हुए और आसपास हुए, इसीलिए हम लोगों ने भी उसको इन्वेस्टिगेट कराना आवश्यक समझा है. और हमारी NIA की टीम जा रही है पुणे पुलिस के साथ इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने के लिए उनके मदद में, और NSG की भी पोस्ट ब्लास्ट इन्वेस्टिगेशन टीम जा रही है.
किसी ने इसकी जिम्मेवारी ली है क्या कोई?
जी ना.
तो और किसी तरह का तो और कोई समाचार
नहीं, जस्ट 1 माइनर इंजरी. एक आदमी को हल्का चोट है, वो वहीं किसी ससून हॉस्पिटल में है, उसकी पूछताछ भी चल रही है. थैंक यू.
Okay, we know that there's a big army sappers, army engineering unit there in Pune. In Dapodi, we have the College of Military Engineering, and in Khadki, you have the Bengal Engineering Corps, and the Army Southern Command has asked for bomb disposal units from the sapper units of the Army. Army has agreed, and bomb disposal units are being sent on the request of civilian authorities there by the Army Southern Command. So there's, they're taking it quite seriously. You'd like to reassess what you just said there about this?
No, I would. The reason I am not saying that it should be dismissed. The investigation will go on. Any crime committed, the police has to investigate. But whatever I know about the terrorist and terrorist mind, I personally feel that...
So the use of cycle bombers, that's a common thread between, say, Ahmedabad blast, Jaipur and UP court blast.
But look at the intensity there and intensity here. Now, I know the topography which they are saying, Jangli Maharaj Road, Sambhaji Park and all that. See,
But you see, Mr.
if I were the terrorist,
Mr. Doval says the intensity is of no consequence. Maybe they assembled it. Maybe they had the detonators, but they did not have the explosives. Mr. Doval.
Without full preparation, they don't go.
How do you know they don't?
Let me tell you one thing.
Whenever they go for this work, they are fully prepared, and they don't have in between. No, whatever it is his opinion. In my opinion, whatever investigation I have conducted.
Hear his opinion, please. Yes, Mr. Doval. Sorry, we couldn't hear you at that point. Would you like to rebut this again? We are getting a lot of calls from our viewers with great concern about what's happened in Pune.